One of my biggest reading goals of 2024 is I want to challenge myself to read my physical TBR down to 0. So I will go ahead and pop up on the screen the most recent number of how many books are on my physical TBR. Now, the way that I am going to be trying to tackle this challenge so it's not so overwhelming and also so I can kind of have some accountability. One, I am going to challenge myself to read 5 books from my physical TBR every month. I am not going to count the month of December though, because I do want to do the same thing I did in 2023 where I reread all of my favorites of the year. So if you go by 11 months of the year and I read 5 books a month, that is a total of 55 books. Now, I don't know what the total is that I ended up popping up on the screen. I hope it's not over 55. Popping in super quick to kind of explain myself, because I believe the last time that I counted my physical TBR and shared that number, I think that I was at 45 books. So obviously 111, that number has just blown up. I do want to just give a brief caveat here of why the number is so much larger than it was a few months ago. When I originally shared my number of unread books, I did not count any of my graphic novels. If you can see them, they're this little section down here. There's a lot of them, and the majority of those are all unread. So that counts for quite a bit of that number, as well as I did go to quite a few library sales towards the end of last year. My unread books on my shelf kind of skyrocketed after those sales. All right, let's get back to the video. But if it is over 55, I think I could still end up reading my physical TBR down to 0, because I do think that there are some books behind me that I could unhaul that I'm not really interested in reading any longer, that have sat on my shelf for far too long. So I think reading 5 books a month for my physical TBR is going to be a really manageable goal for me to stick to, as well as I hope that this challenge is going to really motivate me to not be constantly adding books to my physical TBR. Now, I do go to some library book sales throughout the year, and that is the quickest way that I will add books to my physical TBR. They are book sales where you can fill up an entire brown bag full of books for only $8. I want my physical to be very curated and very intentional, and I want it to just house like my favorites. I would like to have every book I own be a book that I've read. That's my goal. So that is my intention with this challenge. Going along with this, another way I want to try to hold myself accountable is by filming one reading vlog a month where I read these 5 books on my physical TBR. So I feel like that really holds me accountable, because if I'm gonna make one video a month based around this challenge, it's basically like me putting it out there, like I have to do this. I have to meet this goal. And within that reading vlog where I read the books, I review them, I also will probably be challenging myself to unhaul some of those books. Like if I start reading it and I really don't like it and I want to DNF it, then I'm gonna unhaul it and either put it on Pango or just donate it to my libraries or to a little free library. I just want to start making my way through my physical TBR. So basically the outline of this challenge is 11 months, 5 books a month, and 1 reading vlog a month. I feel like that is so manageable. Like that's not a really hard or overwhelming goal. It's definitely something that I can do if I just stick to it. I do sometimes struggle with sticking to my goals. I mean, I think that's something we all struggle with setting like New Year's resolutions in January and then falling off of them in February. I don't want that to happen with this. I feel like me having a channel and putting it out there that this is something I want to do It's gonna help to hold me accountable and to stick to my goals. So if you guys see me falling off of this challenge and not reading the 5 books a month on my physical TBR, please call me out in the comments and say,
hey, remember when you posted that video announcing this challenge? What are you doing?
I need an accountability partner. So if anybody else is interested in tackling their physical TBR along with me, let's be accountability partners and tackle our physical TBR together. I think that would be really helpful and beneficial to have some buddies to do this challenge with. If you guys know how many books are on your physical TBR, let me know. If you don't know and you would like to make an educated guess, let me know what is your best guess. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this challenge, and I love that this challenge is also still gonna allow me to mood read a little bit, because I learned last year that I cannot set monthly TBRs for myself. It immediately puts me in a reading slump. So I love that I'm gonna be able to just pick and choose. But other than that, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope your week is going very smooth and it's going by quickly. I will see you guys in my next video.